How's it going, YouTube? This is Logan Oren, k.a. The Troll for Truth. I was thinking a while back about this debacle that is the sim movement. I'm now just entering into the third week of the school year, and I'm really exhausted. But I wanted to make sure that I could get this content out to the community. Now, Madden has been out for almost a couple weeks now, and many of you that bought the game have been able to grind through it and develop your own general opinions of the game so far. I know that the event is long over, but after seeing how the game really has turned out, along with suggestions that we've seen that have been made, I think it's time to revisit the question, which is whether Community Day is just a PR move. So this video is to determine whether Community Day is a scam or is it actually an honor. Is it a PR move like so many have claimed, where some people have even taken it so far as to call the attendance UUPS, or unnecessary, unpaid professional suggesters? Or is it an honor to give, or is it an honor to go where people are able to give sound advice to give a game much needed and sought out improvements? Now, what brought about this video is that throughout all of this movement, I was tired of not getting full information on topics, and I was hoping to get some answers. So I thought to myself, hey, I live in Orlando. Why don't I just hop in my car and take that 30-minute drive over to ground zero and get answers myself? The worst they could do is turn me away and not talk to me. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about my visit to, my visit and my communications with the company. I know throughout my stint here on YouTube, I've had a consistent stance on the way I feel about Madden and their developers, as well as what I would like to see take place in the future of football gaming. Now, I really do have a lot of respect for my subs, and I thank all of those who have shown me respect and supported my channel. And I know that regardless of what the outcome of my interactions with the developers of Madden while I was there, those who really supported me will still do so in the future. At least on this topic of the impact of Community Day, when I've spoken about the effectiveness of Community Day, I've only spoken out of emotion because I could only go on the info that I had. And I will say that until now, I've spoken hastily without facts of any sort save the opinions of other commentators. Now that I've spoken with people from the inside, I can speak on this issue now and forever outside of the darkness with actual experiences to base my judgments on. Everybody hands go up. All right, hold up. Whoa. Stop. Cut. All right, now that out of the way, now I gotta be real with you all, open and give you the real meat of this video. Now, there was a purpose of what I was doing, and am I, throwing it? Am I making a little cut? Yeah, I am, but just to show that tone of voice and words, using certain words, go a long way. Now, even though what I was saying was intentional, I'm pretty sure that some of my subscribers were probably thinking, not another one. Not another one that's sold out. And I'm pretty sure that some of you did. And that was the purpose, because the tone and the words that you use, they tell the story. So if you're trying to present information, then you need to do it in a way that is going to be perceived as legit. Because if, people go by what they hear. We can't see you. Some people who don't film themselves, they just do their voiceovers. You can't see the facial expressions. You can't see all that. So we can only go by tone of voice and the words that you use. So that being out of the way, let's get back to the video. Everybody hands go up, and they stay there, and they say yeah, and they say there. Welcome back, YouTube. This is Logan Oren, and I'm back here with another video. I wanted to put out this content a long time ago, but starting the beginning of school, we had pre-planning, and then we had first week of school, and things just got hectic. So I didn't get to put this video out because I just didn't have time, and there were too many other things going on, and I didn't want to put this out, so close to release date, but I went ahead, I waited for a release date, then I let people get used to the game, and then I pretty much had enough. So I wanted to be able to put this content out and talk to you a little bit out, the jokes aside at the beginning, but I really did take a trip down to Ground Zero, to that company, and today this video is going to cover 3 points, or three parts. My trip to Ground Zero, the outcome of my trip, and as far as where does my stance fall after that, and I'm going to talk about this new group coming up, which I call the Madnati. So about my trip down to Ground Zero. Now I've been down here in Orlando for quite a while, and why it never dawned on me to take that trip, I have no clue. So one day I decided, you know what? After work, I'll take that 35, 40-minute drive down to the building and see if I can talk to someone. And the only thing or my main question that I wanted to find out was who exactly, or what was Community Day, who's allowed to attend, what are the qualifications, and do they allow for just patrons of their product to be able to participate in this event. So I go down assuming, what's the worst that could happen? Either they don't answer me at all, no one comes to see me, um, or they just tell me, we're not at liberty to give you this information. So I take the trip down there, and I walk in, I speak to somebody at the front desk. There's the guy that's working security, and I just ask, is there someone in HR that I can speak with in regards to the event Community Day that you have down here every year before for the Madden game? And the guy that I spoke to had no clue what I was talking about, or he acted like as if he had no clue what I was talking about. And so he, directed me to his superior, which I actually thought that was kind of strange, because why would, this is their biggest game that they produce, or one of their biggest games that they produce, and how would an employee, especially at the front desk, working security, not have heard of this Community Day event? So when I speak to his superior, he tells me that pretty much the event's already happened, which I knew that, but the only people that usually attend this event are people who run large media sites, who do review games, who have large YouTube channels, pretty much people who have a large following. And he said, usually they do have people that come out. They have customers that come out, and they can preview the game. And I forgot what the title of this. I think it was just a game tester, that they do sometimes, that you can apply for, and you can come into the studio and preview the games and play the games and give feedback. So he gave me a card for, I guess, this for the website where I would go to if I wanted to be a tester. So of course I leave, and I'm thinking, okay, so pretty much what you're telling me is that it is just for media. That you're not really trying uh, to hear the voice of the community of your patrons. You just want to speak to the media, to get their good graces, to get your message to the people. So I go home, I take the card that he gives me for the game tester, and I go online for the website on the card. And of course, once I get there, that website is inoperable, doesn't work. So what he gave me was pretty much, it was just kind of like yeah, we don't want to talk to you. Bye. Take this card and play the runaround game. So I thought to myself, all right, well, I know this company has you know contact information where you should be able to call into the company. So I called. The next day I called and I try to speak to someone directly in HR and not have to go through the people down at the security desk. So I call the branch in Orlando, and I'm asking the same question. Who do I need to speak with to get information about Community Day for Madden? And the person that I spoke to had never heard of this event. Again, one of the biggest events or one of the biggest games in this company, and when every year you invite all of these people down to your building and you have never heard of this event. But the person that I spoke with told me that they didn't have this event there, and that if I wanted to get information about a community event, then I needed to call the office in California. So I played the game and I called down to the California office, and the people in the California office, they didn't know about they knew that there were community day events, but they asked for which game, and I told them from Madden. They said, well, then you need to call the branch or call the office where that particular event or that game is made. And they said, and for Madden, that's the Orlando branch. And so I asked for, do you have a specific name or a specific number or specific name that I could talk to? And they said no. And they told me I just needed to call back. So I called back to the Orlando office and I spoke to a different person, thankfully. And I told them, look, I just spoke to you guys a little while ago, and you transferred me or told me to call down to the California office. The California office told me to call you back in Orlando. So, I need to know just who is it that I need to talk to about this specific game or this specific event. So they transferred me to somebody who was in the Madden development office, and so I called, or they transferred me to his voicemail, of course, not to his office, but I just called and I gave him my email address and my telephone number. I told him he could give me a call back or email me, whichever is convenient for him. So I didn't get a call back, but when I got home, I saw that I had an email. So the guy did email me. So the guy that I spoke with was Anthony Stevens. But he was not the guy who responded back to me. The guy who responded back to me was the community manager, who is Andrew Johnson. And I guess he is the one who covers all of the community events. So this was the email that he sent to me. I was forwarded your information from Anthony Stevenson regarding community events. To answer your question, our community guys are usually prominent members of the community and EA Sports Game Changers. We select game changers based on a great number of criteria, but all of them have fan sites, large YouTube channels, etc., and represent large communities on their own. If you have any other questions regarding community events, let me know. Thanks. AJ. I was really shocked. I was really shocked that someone contacted me back. And it was a while before I could get information, or it was a while before I could contact him back, because I did have some questions specifically about what he emailed me, because he sort of answered my question as far as who is able to participate, and pretty much what I got from it is that, yeah, it's, it media. The only ones who are invited are media. But then we get to these game changers, and who are the game changers, and what are the qualifications for the game changers. So I decided to email him back because I wanted to know some specifics, and this is what I responded to him. Hello, thank you for responding back with me. I wanted to ask if the company ever invites local patrons of the product to the event, even if they are not part of any media outlet. What are usually the criteria that is used to choose a game changer aside from having a large following? Last question, and I promise I won't be flooding your inbox with email. This year, the Madden 25 demo for the Xbox 360 was available for those only who are Xbox Live Gold members. I also wanted to know if this was going to be a standard going forward for future Maddens, that you must be an Xbox Live Gold member in order to access the Madden demos on Xbox and Xbox One. Thank you. So this was a message that I sent, responded back to him. And it's been quite a while. I mean, I sent this on August 29th, and I have, as of yet, to get a response. So I don't know if if I've started to get into confidential information, or he just doesn't want to deal with me anymore. But I think those were valid questions. I know there was the add-in of the Xbox Live issue, but for the most part, I just wanted to get that information by. And so what did I get out of going to on this trip to the company? I think at the end, after it was all said and done, my opinion hadn't changed. If anything, I am more strengthened that this event is a PR move, because for the most part, the only people who are invited are people who are part of media outlets. And there's no one else who, I still haven't gotten the criteria for the game changers, so I don't really know why is it that why is it that they do what they do? How do they qualify to become game changers? And it's just very, nerve-wracking that I can't get that basic information, that you can't tell me what is it that is necessary in order to to qualify for a game changer. So I can only go by based off of what I see, that it's only for PR. It's only to get the people who can spread enough of their message to the consumer. So I have to ask, what were you all doing while you were down there? And I look at the problems that are within the game now, and the hope and promise of improvements that many people have had. They just don't mesh up. So when I look at those of you who went down to Community Day, I have to wonder, were they that stringent in what you could say that you could come back and really tell us nothing? Because when I look at, and mostly specifically you, Ryan Moody, because I don't, for the most part, you're the main one that I go to for breakdowns, and for Madden, for these video games. And since you've come back, all I see are problems with the game, negative issues with the game. Just go down the list of your videos and look at the titles since you've come back from Community Day. So here we have all of these negative things about the game, these issues about the game, and you didn't see none of this? You didn't see any of this while you were down there in Community Day? And, I'm not really just picking on you, but for the most part, that's who I listen to. And the videos that I get to get about the response of the game. And so, I can't go by the Sim Standard because they don't really put anything out. They put out this half a discussion, quote unquote, where they were pretty much acknowledging that the game was garbage, but the underlying tone was wait till next gen. So let me take my free copy of Madden 25 this gen and not say anything bad about it or not for the most crucify it, but I'm just going to take my game and play it. And even so, I think the responses and the critiques of the Sim Standard and its members are so neutered down that you're not going to be able to get the real deal about the critiques of the game. And even though Ryan Moody, people have issues with you, I still think for the most part that you give a fairly honest critique of the game when others are not willing to do. And so that is respectable that you do that. But I still have to mention the concern of why didn't you see all of this stuff while you were down there? Or maybe you did see it, but you were on lockdown, you couldn't say anything. I don't really know. I mean, you guys were supposed to have gotten a chance to log in a lot of hours playing this game. And the game, when you guys got to this game, it should have been worse than the actual finished product. So these things should have been evident when you saw it, if you actually really got to play the game that much while you were down there. Otherwise, I don't know if maybe the day that you could have seen all of these things, maybe you guys had a dinner or it was a meeting where the big wigs came in to pump you up and teach you all about next gen and how great it's going to be, and razzle dazzled you to make you feel better or to pacify you even more. But I don't know. I just fail to see how these issues were not evident enough in the game where you should have walked away from that event puzzled. You should have been like, seriously? Now, when I look at this new group, the Madnati, and I compare them to the Illuminati, what are the main reasons? Now, there's a whole group of I guess, comparisons that I'm going to go down the list and explain. But ultimately, the main two that really sticks out is for the fact that, one, that this organization or this little group, this following that's starting to build, they, like the Illuminati, in order to get in, you have to be invited. And there are a lot of people that want to get in, and they have to conform. In order to be in the Illuminati, you have to conform to what they believe, to what their standards are. And you have to pretty much, even though you know that you're going down a beaten path, you have to be okay with it. And you pretty much have to be okay with selling out to them. And that's what this group has done. They are, we see not just anyone can be in this little group. I still don't know what the qualifications to be a game changer is. And no one really knows what's necessary in order to take this position. So the second is, of course, of the in the Illuminati, they claim to have this knowledge that no one else has, and that's what we all hear every time someone goes, is that they have come about this knowledge that only they know and the company has told to them, but they can't tell this to anyone else. And really the only way to know this information is to be within the circle. So, all of those, there's more that feed into that, but these are the top two. So what's the rest of what is considered to make the Illuminati, like the Maddenati?
So I'm running a little over than what I expected to. So I'm going to end part one right here. So tomorrow we're going to try to pick up for part two. This is Logan Oren, aka the Troll for Truth, because the truth should mean something.